Hi, what is your plan for retirement? If you're working in the formal sector, you might be saying a well-structured formal sector. You might be saying, okay, your plan for retirement is your pension. But if you're working in an informal sector whereby you're self-employed or you have a business of your own, you need to take a lot of things seriously because there's no gratuity whatsoever for you. And for you working in the informal sector that you say you have a pension, how far can your pension really sustain you? Can it really be enough to sustain you in those years that you are not actively working? Now, let's do some calculations and breakdown. Let's call it retirement 101. So, for you working in the formal sector that you depend on your pension, let's say your accumulatedly your pension for the years you worked is 10 million naira. And the average retirement year in Nigeria is like 60 years. Okay, let's say you retire by 60 and you have access to 10 million naira. This is your pension. This is what you've saved in your RSA, your retirement saving account, over the years that you worked. Now, by the time you're retiring, you have the advantage of taking between 25 to 30% as your offtake. Let's say 25%, the minimum, minus 25% of 10 million is 2.5 million naira. 2.5 million. So when we deduct this 2.5 from 10 million, we are left with 7.5. So what happened? Let's say, for instance, you go ahead and live up to 80 years. Might not be up to that, it might not be more than that. But let's say in this our case study, let's say you live for another 20 years until you are 80 before you give up the ghost. That is our case study. Another 20 years. So what that means is this 7.5 will be divided by 20 years. And if you're dividing the 7.5 by 20 years, it means you're going to break it down on a monthly basis. So 20 years, we have 12 months in a year. 20 years, what we are left is 240 months. So with 240 months, this your 7.5 then will now be shared. There's no add up, no subtraction. This is what you have left in your pension account, and this is what you want to sustain on. No add up. This 7.5 will then be divided by 240 months. Whatever we have is what they will keep paying you as your pension every year for the next 20 years that you're living. So let's do the math. When you divide 7.5 million divided by 240, what it will give you is 31,250. This is what you'll be left with on a monthly basis that your pension managers will pay you for the next 20 years. Between you and I, at the current state of the economy, is this sustainable for feeding alone? You're not going to be feeding yourself. You have your wife. Maybe let's say by then your children are independent. You don't need them. Would this be enough for you to sustain yourself on feeding alone? And as we age, our body needs more medical attention. Would this alone be enough for feeding, not to talk of medications that you need to further revive your health? Meaning that this is not sustainable. And God forbid, if you live more than 20 years, the figure will not even be up to this. Now, for the second category, people that are in the informal sector, you don't have no gratuity whatsoever. There's nothing that you save that you can depend on as your pension. So what do you intend to do in these years? There are three options I can give you that I see that will really help you. And the earlier you start, the better it gets, and the better you'll be able to put things in place, to put structure in place that will cater for you in those years that you are not actively working. So what are the three options that I have for you? I'm going to list the three options as well as give you the breakdown and the advantages of the three. And if you can do the three, it is the best for you. And the earlier you start, be it in your 20s, you're in your 30s, the earlier you start now, the better for you to implement these things. and you will be rest assured that your retirement years is settled. There are three options or three asset base. For you to be able to have peace of mind in your retirement years, you need like asset based investment. I have three options for you. The first is residential development. Residential. The second is commercial. And the third is farm investment. You see these three right here. If you're able to do these three, you're able to do these three very well. Your retirement years is settled. And the earlier you start, the better it gets for you. There are bills yes, left and right, up and down, we know. If you can discipline yourself to set aside savings from whatever you are earning, it will go a long way. The earlier you start, the better it is for you to be able to achieve these three asset class that can sustain you in your retirement years. Number one, residential. Let's say you have 6 units of flats. Then you're collecting 1 million on each flat times 1 million naira. At the end of the year, you earn 6 million naira. If you divide 6 million a year by 12, it means on a monthly basis, you have 500,000 for yourself that you can spend for whatever you want to use it for. This is a very good way to go. Secondly, commercial real estate. If you have 10 shops, and if you're good to go, you can do a shopping plaza. It can be 20. But with this, we just want to focus on 10 shops. And you earn an average of, let's say for now, based on current market, depending on location, you're using the barest minimum to do the calculations here. So let's say you're earning 300,000, 300K per annum on each shop. By the end of the year, accumulatedly, you'll be collecting 3 million naira. If you divide 3 million naira by 12, you'll be left with, on a monthly basis, you have 250,000. Here you have 500K. Here you have 250K. So if you are able to have these two, it's a good way for you to go. But the earlier you start, the better it gets. So this two is a good way to go. The third asset class I'm talking is you having a farmland. Let's say you own an acre of oil plantation. Oil plantation is the case study. It might be cocoa, but today you're talking about oil plantation. An acre of oil plantation that I can offer you, or as of today, an oil plantation is 3.2 million. 3.2 million per acre. And that will give you 60 palm plantation, 60 trees of palm plantation. So if you have that, what that will do for you is it will generate for you, you are talking about the barest minimum, remember, on a yearly basis, it will generate for you between 2,100 liters minimum to 4,500 liters when it's at peak. Let's use the minimum here. 2,100 liters of palm oil. That is what you'll be getting on a yearly basis. Now, let's divide 2,100 by 25 liters keg. So you can get our number. When you divide by 25 liters, divided by 25 liters keg, 25 liters keg, what you get is 84 gallons. You're going to be getting 84 gallons at the end of the year. Based on current price, now, a 25-liter gallon is selling between 65,000 to 73,000. Let's use the minimum, 65,000. 65,000 times 65,000 times 84 gallon that we are able to get. Give you 5,450,000 thereabouts. When you divide this by 12 months, divide by 12 months that we have in a year, to getting 455,000 on a monthly basis. You see, these three asset classes that I mentioned, these are physical based assets: the residential development, commercial development, and farm development. Now, let's come to think about it. Judging by the situation now, if you can afford to buy land and start building now, wow, it's a welcome idea because it's going to be paying for a very long time. If you have the capacity to buy land in a commercial area and develop shops, Now people can rent, like we highlighted here, 10 shops. It's also welcome. But the one that is easiest to get as of today is the farm investment. With 3.2 million naira, you can get an acre of palm plantation that will pay you for the next 40 years, more than 40 years. Because palm, they can live up to 70 years when they are well maintained. So this is the easiest to go about now. With 3.2 million naira, you have an acre, and an acre would generate for after the maturity, because palm take, based on the new species outside now, like 2 to 3 years to germinate. But in the fourth year, you're sure that you start earning return on investment. So on a yearly basis, on an investment you set up with 3.2 million naira, you'll be earning 5,450,000 on a yearly basis. And on a monthly basis, you'll be getting yourself 455,000 naira. That is why I said the earlier you start, the better for you. If you start early, you can be able to expand and keep expanding. Then the figure will keep going up, and you know that you're settled during your retirement years. Some people have the money to do things like this, but they have, maybe some of them don't have the information. Some have the information, but they think they will do it. They will do it. That was how the opportunity just passed them by. So I'm bringing this opportunity to you. Now imagine if you have 10 acres, maybe you're buying an acre every 2 years, or you're buying an acre every year. Now you have 10 acres, 10 acres of palm plantation, which means averagely, I'm talking to you based on the current price in the market. That is why we got that was how we got 5,450,000 annually on an acre of palm oil based on current price, which is 65,000 naira. So when you have 10 acres of palm, let's do the math. It means you're going to be multiplying 5,450,000 times 10 is 54,500,000. That is how much you're going to be earning on a yearly basis if you have for the minimum based on the current price. As of today, I'm doing this based on the current price. It is subject to increment. So you're going to be earning yourself 54,500,000 yearly. Tell me, are you not settled? Your retirement years, you don't need to struggle for anything. You live your life to the fullest comfort. You sustain yourself without depending on your children, without depending on social benefit, without depending on anything. So time is of essence. The earlier you start, like I said, and I keep repeating, the better it is for you. Because either you like it or not, the way you are 10 years ago is not the way you are today. And the way you are today is not the same way you will be in the next 10 years. Things might get better. Good luck for you. But it is better for you to plan and invest in something that is sustainable. Your pension cannot sustain you. And most especially, my brothers in the informal sectors, you are not promised tomorrow. And I've seen this happen over and over again. Those that are informal sector, most especially those that are self-employed into artisanship, or they're doing one form of business. As time progresses, people tend to work with younger minds. The things that you're doing 10 years ago and is sustainable for you, you're making good money from it. When time comes, some people will see you as too old and agile that they don't want to work with you. They say you are not leveling up, and the younger generations are the one that will take place. But the system you have put in place by that time, that you are no more, by when you're still actively working and earning that money, the system you put in place is enough to sustain you. Even that system is enough to get you capital for you to start some other business where you can structure and put people in place. You see, money is a seed, and you don't eat your seed. It is important for you to plant your seed so that it will grow. And the more you grow, the higher the numbers of fruit it will produce for you. So I'm giving this to you today. I have acres and hectares of palm plantation that you can invest in now. As of today, I am talking, an acre is selling for 3.2 million naira, and it can give you, at least in a year, to give you, when it starts fruiting, a minimum of 4 years. Get that? It will start fruiting in a minimum of 4 years, between 3 to 4 years, but let's take 4 years. In 4 years, you start earning dividend. And on a yearly basis, based on current price as of today, you can earn as high as 5,450,000 or 460,000 on an acre of palm plantation. So now tell me, if you're able to expand on that investment and you're able to do 5 acres, 10 acres, it means you're settled for like 50, 60. That is how you earn. And you won't be under any pressure when you are not actively working for stuffs to sustain yourself when you are not that agile to take things up. For inquiries or more information, or there's question you have question to ask me about what I've just shared, call me through the numbers on your screen, or you can send me a direct message. Thank you. I will always say this: it is better for you to have it and not need it than for you to need it and not have it. And remember, whatever investment you're doing today, it is not because of today, it is of tomorrow that it will sustain you when you are no more active. I keep saying this.